Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man at your undead services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. Hope you're doing better than me. Because what you just missed, what I didn't capture on camera, was me literally falling on my arse right here. I'll explain why. Over yonder, there is a plug board. There's charging plugs and units and things. And I took out my phone charging cable to put in the ring light cable just over there. But in so doing, the phone charging cable fell on the floor underneath here. This big ramshackle, almost Victorian style stand with drawers and things and little slide desk bits and bobs. So I moved the chair I'm sitting on slightly that way to crawl under to get the said phone charging cable and put it in a safer environment. And then I got up again, job done, and sat back down on what I thought was the chair. I love my whiskies. I don't like my whiskey bottles up my arse. Because when I sat down, there was no chair there, and I sat upon whiskey bottles and then banged my head on this bloody massive breakfast bar, kitchen island, whatever you want to call it. Saw stars, thought family, servants at least would come running. Nothing came running to my aid, despite the clatter. Apart from the cat. The cat came through with their back arched, their tail in the air, and running sideways at me. So not only was I had to extricate a bottle of fucking whiskey from me ring piece, but I've got a cat coming for me as well. So, greetings all. How are you all? I think we're doing very, very well. Now, we have well, it's not really an unboxing. No, it is. I've still got to unbox the bloody thing. We have the return of the Living Dead in 4K. Look, that looks like an Iron Maiden cover, doesn't it? An album cover. It does. That is new artwork there. This is an Arrow UK 4K UHD limited edition version of Return of the Living Dead. I've got a good feeling these are sold out right now. And I'll tell you why I know that. Because when I pre-ordered this motherfucker here over a week ago. We are now Saturday evening on the 18th of October 2025. This came out on the Monday, which would have been, hang on, I can do this. On Monday the 13th. Hang on, is that right? Yeah, Monday the 13th. So several days ago, this was due out from Amazon. Now, I know I say Amazon. A lot of you guys go Amazon. You really emphasise the Zon part. I was like, it's just Amazon. But anyway, that's just me. My lingo, my dialect, my accent. And I pre-ordered this. Normally with Amazon, you know, you pre-order something, it arrives on the day it's meant to be released, if not beforehand. Now, I only pre-ordered it. It was due on the Monday, as we just discussed, the 13th. So I pre-ordered it on 13th, 12th, the 11th, right? But sort of like morning time. Plenty of time. So, now, in the past when I've pre-ordered things from Amazon, they don't always, in fact they tend not to arrive on the day of release. But they'll come out, you'll get them the next day. I'm alright with that. I've learned to live with that. It shouldn't be the case. It's not what they promise, but hey ho, that's the way it goes. So anyway, I ordered this, pre-ordered it, and so Monday comes, and I'm expecting, well, hopefully it's going to turn up, and it didn't. And I'm tracking it and all that. Like, it says arriving Sunday. Sunday being today. I just gave the date, didn't I? I forgot it was 18th, right? No, it's Saturday. I got that wrong. It's Saturday right now, but tomorrow will be the Sunday, so the 19th. It's saying it's going to arrive on Sunday, the 19th. I thought, why? I've pre-ordered this. Why have I got to wait a week longer for my box set of Return of the Living Dead limited edition, which I pre-ordered? oh, that's got to be a mistake. And as the days went by, I kept tracking it. I kept looking on Amazon and status of my shipment, my order, and no, arriving Sunday. Are you fucking for real? So I went on to, of course, the actual site itself and just put in Return of the Living Dead, limited edition, 4K UHD, you know, and yeah, since Monday and Tuesday, the week just gone, it was in stock. And if you bought it in the next 18 hours, it'll be delivered to you the next day. And obviously, it was happening. Because I know people who got it way before me. So pre-ordering for Amazon, why bother? Why can bother? Wait till the day of release and then order it right smack bang then. When you know they've got it in stock. When it says in stock, buy it then and you'll get it the next day. If you pre-order it, well, how is that though? Clearly, you know, I know it's limited. I know people are going to say, like, oh, obviously it's sold out of stock. It's all pre-orders are gone and all that. If that was the case, how did you have it for sale on the Monday, the day of release, to be bought and then shipped and delivered the next day? Something went slightly awry there, did it not? Anyway. Return of the Living Dead, 4K. I have reviewed this movie. I've discussed it many times. I've discussed its two potential new movies, Trash's Revenge and Return of the Living Dead, the big reboot, which I'm sure I'll discuss in this video at some point. But the point of this video is to say, hey, look, I've got it finally, yay! And I physically know people that have reviewed this for channels and platforms that I've worked with in the past, and I trust their judgment, and they say it is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Filmed, well, released 85, Dan O'Bannon. It was a grainy, fudgy, cartoonic, sort of very low budget sort of movie. Colourful, but not brightly lit or detailed, you know. So to hear that this 4K is absolutely stellar in many capacities, the colour spectrum is off the scale, the blacks are impenetrable, and there's tons and tons of detail. And the grain is authentic. I'm way looking forward to this. My son has not seen this movie, so we're going to watch this in a wee bit, and I'll probably report back on that. Well, I may do, I don't know. I already know it's going to look stellar. But the box set here, limited edition. Let's break the seal and see what we have. Obviously, falling on my arse has impaired my cellophane ripping abilities as well. No, but we're almost in there. Now, I know a lot of people who despise that new artwork. You have a punk zombie about to munch on someone's, bite through their cranium and get their brains. And you don't like it at all. Actually, I don't mind it in the least. It totally evokes the punk rock, psychobilly attitude of the movie. Dan O'Bannon's movie is 80s and yet a throwback to the 70s and very early 80s with the psychobilly and punk, sort of American punk rock sort of cycle. Way later than what we did in the UK, of course. But so the colourful hair, the spikiness, and that just, I don't mind that at all. The original poster artwork is outstanding, but it's not too dissimilar. It's just not quite as colourful. Anyway, so a lot of people out there have gone like, no, I hate that, because that's your carded sort of cover, your slip case, and then you have this what rather fantastic, nice solid sort of box. And all these 4K limited editions come in a box like this. And then you have the same image again there. On the back, what have we got? It's just a cluster of ghouls and deadheads shambling ahead. You know, there they are. They're all there. And then We empty out the contents, which was easily done. And we have, wow, I tell you what, folks, there's a very pungent smell from the box, the cardboard. You know, if you've got people in doing sort of carpentry and woodwork, they're putting panels up in your house, wood shavings, the smell of all of that, which I find very, very nice. That box stinks of that. Don't know why. Is it meant to be like coffins? Coffin shavings have been put in there? But it smells, it's pungent, but it smells great. So we have, okay, there's the box itself, and there's a UHD disc of the movie, and it's a Blu-ray, and the Blu-ray has the full 1080p, the feature-length documentary about the making of the movie, which I've forgotten the name of, and I probably won't be able to read it here now because in this light with my decrepit old eyes, I can't read it. But so UHD on one disc, Blu-ray on the other disc with the big making of, and the selling point of the making of, which has been on previous releases before. Screen Factory did it. You've got outtakes, you've got deleted scenes from the big feature-length documentary. So there's nothing actually new on this version. If you've got the Screen Factory version, which I already have on Blu-ray, not the 4K, but there's all the interviews, the multiple commentaries with all and sundry, they're all here again. There's nothing new added, so far as I know. So anyway, there's your box. It does not look like Iron Maiden, doesn't it? Like Eddie wouldn't look as cheeseball as that though. Eddie would be really fucking in your face. He would have brains dribbling out between his teeth, you know. A 15 certificate. Been talking a lot about movies with downgraded certificates and ratings. So about Predator Badlands is going to be a PG-13, which we know. In the UK, that could be a 12 or a 15. We don't yet know. This was an 18 certificate movie when it first came out in the UK. An R-rated movie in the States. Now it's a 15. It's not that gory. Yes, there's split zombies, there's split dog, there's pickaxes through heads, there's brains being munched. There is that, there's, you know, meat and his head, meat, and his head, the big blood geyser everywhere. You got all that, yeah, but it's still not. It's not George Romero's nastiness. It's not Tom Savini gore level effects. There's no real disembowelings, but it still is nasty. But it's all done in a very cartoonic, comic book sort of fashion. A bit zany, a bit slapstick, splatstick. But so it's a 15 now. I had a conversation today, actually today, about like films that were like had a higher rating to begin with, and then they come out later in life, and they've been downgraded. Yeah, and the argument, well, if it was nasty then, how come it's not nasty now? What it is, it's differing members of the MPAA and the BBFC in this country, and not just one person. There's a board of about 10, maybe 12 people who sit and watch a movie. I don't know, ideology and ethics, morality shouldn't change, but what was once deemed horrific and unbearable is now palatable to some degree. I don't know the hard and fast science behind it. These guys who create the ratings are meant to know the psychology behind the decisions that they make. They're meant to study all this, and they have sort of like I was going to say backbenchers. They have like like brain bashing sort of sessions. Brains again with people who should know all these things. Well, kids are affected by this, by that. So certificates and ratings are all based on this sort of group therapy session, for lack of a better phrase. So it's now a 15. And to be honest, I don't mind that. I don't think it's horrific anywhere near enough to warrant an 18. Anyway, I've just found this. Yeah, I see that again. I love that. Hey, cheers, y'all. Highland single malt. Delicious. So, right, we have that same artwork again. Now, apparently, you have alternate artwork, which should be the original artwork inside, you know, the actual cover. And there you go. We have that. Original artwork. Gravestone, the title, and the ring light pinging things out again as usual. And some punk rock zombies there. And a zombie, you know, like he's just done the graffiti, like Banksy style. He's just come up and smeared the title in blood on the back of the gravestone. It's an iconic poster. It's an iconic image. I don't massively love the image. You know, I've discussed lately, well, the Zombie Flesh Eaters poster artwork, the UK quad for that. Go back and watch the video on that. It's only a couple of videos ago, and it's right there. It's actually behind you. It's right there on the wall, right there. And the British quad poster for Zombies Dawn of the Dead. In the UK, it was called Zombies Dawn of the Dead. You guys got it as Dawn of the Dead, and now everyone knows it is Dawn of the Dead. And we got all the uncut versions and all that, but the UK poster was infinitely better than the American one sheet. So, but in the UK, we had the exact same poster imagery, even for the quad, that you had in the States. So I actually don't mind that at all. I don't mind it. So what have you got? You've got 2 discs here. The UHD of the movie with multiple commentaries by basically all the cast and crew, all in 4, I think it's at least 4 different commentary tracks, and they cover everything at all. You know, all the gamuts, everything that happened in the movie, all the things behind the scenes. They cover the whole bloody thing, and they're great. Their legacy. There's nothing new here. Nothing new apart from the deleted scenes on the Blu-ray disc from the documentary. But everything else you've seen before. I think the Screen Factory version had the work print version, which actually put in the deleted scenes of the movie back into it. But you've got the deleted scenes on this as well, so you're not missing anything at all. I think there is one thing new actually. I think there is one thing new, which is the entire movie in 3 minutes, which obviously I've not seen. I don't know about that, but apparently it's on here. The entire movie is played for you in 3 minutes, which could be fun, obviously. But I'll get back to you on that. But this being the limited edition version, you do get some other stuff. What do you get? What do you get? Well, you get a poster. And you know what's going to happen here, don't you? What I've just discussed. You know, a nice hard, you know, but also rigidly folded card poster of that rather zany new artwork. Do you know what it kind of reminds you of? The 80s zombie movie, The Video Dead. Do you remember that? The Video Dead. Kind of looks a bit like that. The way that the title is like really in your face. That kind of font. I don't mind that image at all. It does evoke what the movie's about. Punk rock zombies, a punk rock style. Where am I? Because we're like, no, they ain't my kind of zombie. I'm a conquistadore, you know. And brain munching. You know, it's got that smell again. Wow. I've got limited edition, the pungent version. But there you got that. And I know most people do not like that image, and you're all going, no, I don't like it either, Kilt-Man. So would you mind turning it round for us and showing us the original artwork, if you please? Okay. And there you are. Now that is iconic. It is exceptionally famous, and it's brilliant. Yeah, And I know it really, really well, and yeah, I'm fine with it. You've got your punk rock Mohican skeletal zombie there. There is a mask of that. I don't know if you can see the Tar-Man is here. Tar-Man's behind me. What was his name? Alan Troutman. Not to do with Rambo, but Alan Troutman played him. The slithery, slimy, icky Tar-Man, who's the most famous zombie from the movie, and genuinely frightening as well. Especially when he let brains, and they're locked up and all that, and trying to hide from him, and he's working out how to turn the cranks and the chains and open doors and things, and the way he moves, and he's fucking brilliant. And there is a booklet. I'm beginning to question the worth of these books. I've got dozens and dozens of limited edition, let's go back, hundreds of limited editions, whether they're UHD or just Blu-rays, and you get these booklets with new essays written on the movie. And well, this one is worth it because I'll come on to it now. Obviously, you get lovely pictures and stuff publicity blairbage, Resurrection Cemetery. You've got the cast and the crew and all that. Very handy when you're doing videos like this. You should have this book there so you can reel off the names. There's Trash, Linnea Quigley, of course. Yeah, well. We have numerous attacks on the Oneida medical supplies, and of course the crematorium opposite, the half zombie. So why do you eat brains? What was it? What did she say? To stop the pain. What the pain? You're in pain. Yeah. What pain is that? The pain of being dead. And it's very Life Force like. The effects and the style, the colourful style of this movie, and Life Force, Toby Hooper, Matilda May and the Nuddy Woodies, and space vampires and zombies as well, and people exploding. And the same very quick set piece sort of style of it. Return of the Living Dead, 85, and Life Force are a great double act. Watch the two as a double bill, and wow, you'll be knackered by the end of it because it's just so much visual bombardment and so much sexiness and gory effects and just madcap zany antics. It'll wear you out. The pain of being dead. And is it Frank Kalfka who plays Ernie? Is it Ernie who runs the crematorium? You can tell I've reviewed this movie and I've talked about every single person about it, and I've reeled off quotes left, right and centre, but now I'm in the box. I can't remember fuck all about it, right? There he is. He's brilliant. He's absolutely superb. His bug eyes, You got James Karen and Tom Matthews, Beverly Reynolds, is it? I don't know. Right. Don Calfer, not Eric Calfer, Don Calfer. So there's little essays, and I think there's an interview here as well going on in there, which it's all well and good. But what you've got here, right? You've got I think this is a prequel to the movie, or is it a comic book sequel? All right, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to read it because I don't even know myself. In 2006, Don Calfer and I discussed making his 1985 treatment Revenge of the Living Dead into a graphic novel. For 5 years, we worked on it with the help of Christian Sellers and Craig Hutchings. Since Don's passing, Don Calfer, who plays Ernie, the crematorium and all that. Since Don's passing, Jason Miller and I have been working on the revamped version in memory of Don, a tribute to his legacy. This is just the first 15 pages. The full 70-page comic will be available soon from culttrainings.co.uk. Newly released after a sellout run in 2020. Oh, well, it's already been out. with a new 15-page mini bio of Don. That's by Gary Smart. So you're going to get the first, 15 pages? The start. You're going to see sod all very well, aren't you? But you're going to get this. And it's, artwork's pretty good. There's some gore. The zombies, as you'd expect. Some part munched face. There's a cluster of zombies there going, brains, 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 send more paramedics. So you've got a fair bit. You've got 15 pages of this. I don't know what the story is. I don't know, but I'm just going through it. Don Calfer's Revenge of the Living Dead. So obviously it's telling his story. Then you get some production notes in the back of this as well. Very nice, very nice. They don't give a great deal about the presentation. So all the transfer and how it came to be, the original masters and all the scans that are being done and the blah technical stuff. This is a film that I adore. I think it's a great fun blast of real stupid, silly, splatstick zombie mayhem. In the aftermath or the wake of George Romero's Zombie Cycle and Lucio Fulci with his extreme versions of zombies, this was a lot of fun. It came out, certainly in the UK, after a long delay for Day of the Dead. You got competing Return of the Living Dead and Day of the Dead. Day of the Dead was cut UK cinematically, but I already had an uncut version before it even got released in the UK. I already had the unrated version from America because I had contacts, and I love Day of the Dead. It's outstanding. Then this came out, and this was like, I saw it in the flicks. This film wasn't cut. I don't think it was cut. People are going to go back to my earlier videos and go like, "Oh, you said it was cut." I can't remember. I don't think it was cut down. There was nothing to cut out of it really. A bit of brain dropping out of someone's mouth, a blood geyser. There wasn't. There's not a great deal in it really. I think the scariest image for me is the little dwarf or midget zombie that goes and drops brain falls out of his mouth, and it runs after, in the rainstorm. You're like, what the fucking hell is that? Like, not want to be politically incorrect, but that was frightening. Hadn't seen that before. James Karen is outstanding. Clu Gulager, outstanding. It's not a bad question, Bert. It's not a bad question, Bert. The yellow anatomical man running around, and they're trying to kill him, and they put a pickaxe through his head, and he's still alive. They're going, oh God, what are we going to do? We're going to saw his head off, and all the parts are still alive. Oh God! And then they got to go around to Early Don Calfer, to burn these things, and of course burning it, the trioxin, the canisters. It's going to go up into the atmosphere, and then into clouds, and it rains, and they're right next door to a cemetery. Oh no. It's genius. Of course, John Russo, who was co-creator of Night of the Living Dead with George Romero, branched out, did this. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs. I've discussed it before. Goes into this one. He wrote 2 screenplays and 2 novelizations. Well, he wrote a novel called Return of the Living Dead, which is completely different from this, but that was an idea that he wanted to do as a follow-on to Night of the Living Dead. So it does that. Well, that doesn't get anywhere. It does as a movie. Then does the screenplay for this. So I've got both books, and of course the film with Dan O'Bannon. His deft touch of sort of out there, anarchic, sort of old hippie, but loves gore and genre. that's Dan O'Bannon for you. Just fucking goes for it, and it's brilliant. Is it Tony Gardner did the effects for? Oh no, hang on. Yeah, Tony Gardner did the effects for this. Some of the effects anyway, and then you got like Return of the Living Dead Part 2, which I am not a fan of. There's loads of you out there who've questioned me on this, and I just found it boring as hell, and a watered down version. I just thought, why am I watching this? Then Return of the Living Dead Part 3 came out with is it Mindy Clark, and a lot of nudity and a lot of very low budget, but the effects were outstanding. All pure practical gore effects, and to stave off her hunger, she's piercing herself in self-mutilation, and like, oh my god, and there's some real severe chompings and effects in it which are really great. But it's got a heart as well, which you don't expect in a movie like this. And I love Part 3. It then went beyond that, but we don't talk about those. We don't talk about what followed after that. And now we've got not one but two follow-ons, and yeah, I have discussed both of these movies at length a while ago, and why I've not discussed them since is because absolutely fuck all has happened with these movies. You've got two competing Return of the Living Dead reboots in one case and a sequel in the other case. The first one is Return of the Living Dead Trash's Revenge. Trash being Linnea Quigley, scream queen, a nudie extraordinaire, lots of boobage. Linnea Quigley, who plays Trash in the first one, like, and comes back as uber nudie punk zombie. That is a crowd-funded film. They have filmed a lot of it. I know that for a fact. I've seen behind the scenes footage and stills, and it's filmed mostly on green screen. And I don't know about you guys, but that does not look good to me. Oh, what do you mean, Kilt-Man? Avatar, Wicked were filmed on green screen, and look at them. I'd rather not, if you don't mind. Thank you very much. I'd rather not look at them. I think they're shit. This is low budget and crowd funded. Linnea Quigley, Tom Matthews, they've brought back James Karen. James Karen's back in it. He died, a few years ago now, and Don Calford as well, but they brought him back via AI and all this. So I don't know how you view that. And the idea behind the Linnea Quigley and Beverly Reynolds, who's also in the original movie, Tom Matthews' girlfriend, if I remember rightly. And the idea is that Return of the Living Dead, our movie here, this one, the limited edition, blah blah blah, UHD. That movie was a genuine movie, and Linnea Quigley plays herself basically, but it's got a secret. Well, what we got told while making that movie is that it's not totally fiction. It's based on reality. We actually have those canisters of this toxin, this gas which brings the dead back to life. Well, they were real, and I've got some of them in my house in Beverly Hills, and it becomes like what happened to Baby Jane and Sunset Boulevard and The Substance with Demi Moore. So she wants to regain some fame and fortune. She's an aging starlet and wants to regain fame, and so a documentarian follows her, and she wants to make a new movie. I think make a new movie and get her name up in lights again. But because she's got these canisters, she tells him, "I've got these canisters," and and by the way, obviously they get broken open, and well, you can guess what happens. But I don't think I like the sound of this. I love the fact that they've done this, or they're doing it. God knows when it's going to come out, if it's going to come out. Don't I know they've been filming it. I've seen behind the scenes footage or stills, but it doesn't mean it's going to come out. This whole thing could like fucking just do a nosedive. But I just think, where are you going with that? We've just seen the substance with absolute out there body horror. I reviewed that movie. Absolute out there body horror, telling the same sort of story. Someone that doesn't want to like let their former lifestyle go. I can still do this, this prima donna, and then bring in like a bloodbath at the end. It could work, I don't know, but I'm not bothered. And you got Tom Matthews in there, and you've got the deceased James Karen is in there. Beverly, is it Reynolds? I think it's Reynolds, and other people as well. And you've got that, but the problem they have is Return of the Living Dead has innumerable copyright and license holders for the logo, for imagery, for characters, for the Oneida medical supplies, for this, that, and the other. So this film, Tragedy Revenge, can't use certain elements. However, and you know about the other one as well, which is just called Return of the Living Dead. And we've had the teaser. The teaser was done fucking, was it start of this year? Was it even last year? And it's set at Christmas time, 18 months after the events of the original Return of the Living Dead. 18 months later, in a small town in Pittsburgh, well, in Pennsylvania. And it's a blizzard hit. It's Christmas time, and I have just snapped the cork, so I can't get into the whiskey. Well, I can, but son of a bitch. Must have been talking too much. Let's see if I can prize that out without really corking the whiskey. Oh, that's not going to work at all. What a bastard. Well, I've got loads more whiskey there, so it should be alright. But that is a fucking pisser, that is. So it's set at Christmas time, and the trailer shows Tarman dragging a Christmas tree. And I linked to that trailer. You can look at that trailer, the teaser, and it's playing a ghostly version of Silent Night. I loved it. I thought it looked really bizarrely atmospheric. And anyway, so that's the other version. Now that was due out in December this year, 2025. And if you go on their website, it still lists everything as December 2025. And you've got little snippets and blurb and what have you. And Tony Gardner does the effects for this movie as well. Now, there's animosity there because the people involved in the Trash's Revenge movie don't like the people who are doing Return of the Living Dead reboot. Well, that's not a reboot. It's a sequel to the original movie. It's 18 months afterwards. There's some other canister comes adrift in this particular area, whatever. But these two production companies don't like each other, and they've had lawsuits flying back and forth, and but culminating in the fact that Return of the Living Dead, which was due out December this year, if you go on IMDb right now, it will tell you it's due out November 2026. But I know that they filmed Return of the Living Dead back in June, the summertime, in LA this year. So it's been filmed, and again, they're keeping their cards close to the chest because you don't know too much about they don't know anything about the plot really. It's just various people who are stuck in this blizzard, snowdrift environment, and the living dead are about to besiege them. So you've got not only the living dead, but you can't go outside because it's fucking freezing cold as well. So double jeopardy. But they filmed it, and you have I did write this down somewhere because I don't know this guy at all. Devon Sawa from Chucky, the TV show, and loads of other things. Apparently, he lends some kudos to this movie. I don't know. It's written and directed by Steve Walsh, and you have Alexander Ward playing Tarman. Alexander Ward played Barlow in the really shit new version of Salem's Lot, which was long delayed, and I reviewed it way ahead of everybody else. And I was also the guy that broke the news that is Alexander Ward playing Barlow, Kurt Barlow, the Nosferatu-like zombie vampire. And how did I find that out just before everyone else? I knew what this guy was capable of, and I'd seen little snippets on his Instagram and his feed to everybody else. Yeah, I'm vampiric. And his friends were making comments about Salem's Lot. So I said on a video, like, he's doing it. And then lo and behold, the news broke. Alexander Ward's playing Kurt Barlow. Anyway, well, he's playing Tarman in it because he's super tall and super like skinny. You have to have someone skinny playing these roles. It's like a full body sort of suit. Like Alan Troutman, a mime artist, if I remember rightly, super skinny. I'm just enjoying doing that, to be honest. And I've said many times, when you wear heavy makeup, like you think of people whose faces are going to be ripped open by werewolves or whatever, big cheek being taken out. You have to build that makeup, that latex, on someone's existing flesh. You can't just rip their real flesh apart. Oh, you can't do that. Depending on how much you're getting paid, obviously. But you need someone who's got a much thinner visage, so very gaunt and thin, so you can put the makeup on and then rip into it. So it looks, you've got depth, it looks convincing then. The Cramps. Surfing Dead. An absolute fucking classic. I hope they revisit this in some other form in these two new versions, if we ever get them, that is. So like Alan Troutman and Alexander Ward are both extremely tall and very, very gaunt and thin-faced. So they can have, makeup applied to them. And their spindly bodies, again, minimal makeup, but it still looks effective. I mean, you can't do me, because to rip my face apart, you have to put it'd be like Pumpkinhead, literally massive Pumpkinhead, to rip into it, because my face is such a fat, fucking round, rotund grotesquerie in the first place. Maybe I don't even need the makeup at all. I reached down for you, and you've betrayed me. Look, these are the single malts that were bestowed to me by Martin, my friend Martin, and oh yeah, it's coming out. Come on. We got it. And I don't think we corked it. I think we're all right. You don't get this. You cork wine. That happens all the time, apparently. I've made two wine drinkers. You don't hear anyone who's corked a bottle of whiskey. And I just fucking did it, didn't I? I fell on my arse and I've corked my whiskey. What the hell? So, Eternal Living Dead has a revival with its 4K UHD. America got it first with Scream Factory, and people were saying it was too dark. That version was a little bit too dark. I've seen comments on it, so I know that's what he said. I haven't seen that version. This version apparently rectifies all of that and looks dreamy. So can't wait. I'm watching it later, so can't wait for that. All the same extras, but the massive feature-length documentary, you've got that. And there might be the outtakes and the 3-minute version of this. Okay. Everything is there. It's the full definitive version again, but you've got a fucking UHD 4K scan of it, presentation. So you're laughing. And 2 movies are in the offing. 2 more. I have no idea if either of them are ever going to be seen. I've got a suspicion that Linnea Quigley's Trash's Revenge ain't going to go anywhere. I kind of hope it does. I don't wish ill on anything at all. I'm not massively fussed on the story of it, from what I know. But I love Linnea Quigley, I love Tom Matthews, and like, you know, I wish it well. But I've genuinely seen that teaser for Return of the Living Dead 2025 or 2026 as it looks like it's going to be. And that one really, it gave me shivers, because not only was it Tar-Man, but he's dragging that Christmas tree with the lights still twinkling through the gates of a snowbound blizzard set cemetery, and it was just wow. And that was it. It's just him dragging this Christmas tree into the snowy wastes. It was creepy as fuck, and I thought, yeah. So I don't know what's going to come out first. Are either of them going to come out at all? I don't know. Just because you've made bits and bobs, and I think it was San Diego Comic Con. It was some kind of Comic Con anyway, some festival where Alexander Ward was like going on about like it's Tar-Man, but he's different. But you're still gonna love him. It's still Tar-Man. It's still Tar-Man. But you know, we go out there with him this time. Okay. I mean, when you're doing these press junkets, like, what are you supposed to say? You've got to say a lot, but yet say nothing. You can't tell the world's press and all the fans and the pundits what you're going to be delivering. You've got to keep it under wraps, but you've got to also, you know, tantalise and tease. So it's dead hard. How'd you do it? I've seen him talking, and he didn't do it very well, to be honest. But that said, he's the kind of guy that can do this sort of thing. So I'm not sure if Alan Troutman is meant to be in with the original Tar-Man. If he's meant to be doing, someone's going to go, he died several years ago. Can't remember. If he's doing Tar-Man for Trash's Revenge, I don't know. But you've got two competing offshoots. One kind of makes sense. Trash's Revenge, I don't think makes any sense at all. I really don't. I don't wish it any ill, but I just don't see it making. What? You know, the whole fucking place got nuked. You know, what the hell? But of course they're saying that, oh, it was a film. They started getting around it. It was a film, but you know, and she was a superstar. She was the actor playing Trash. But really, yeah. Why would the actor have access to the real life canisters? I don't know. It could be. In a year's time, I'll be sitting here going like, Trash's Revenge is fucking amazing, and Return of the Living Dead 2026 reboot is like, look, shit. I don't know. Isn't that part of the fun though, folks? Isn't that part of the fun? We've got films in the offing. This is great. This score's fantastic. The soundtrack's fantastic, but the score itself is great. I miscued it. Doesn't matter. So anyway, 4K. Lovely. Whew. Jesus. It's pure renovation. Like you've got the painted decorators in, you know. Careful. Oh, I would say, smell that. That is, get high on that. It's wonderful. Has it been laced with that chemical? Will I wake up, you know, with jaundice and like, oh, my stiff? Well, I often wake up very stiff. Localized stiffness. Just that's Mr. Kilt-Man. Like, you know, rigor mortis is setting in, and you've got blood pooling and all that. Like, see, Tom Matthews and James Corden because they become, you know, they literally become the living dead. They're alive. They don't get bitten, but they turn into the living dead. They become zombified because of their exposure to the gas, and they're like in pain. and their eyes going all bloodshot and like they're frothing at the mouth and they're sitting together like, oh, I feel sick. It's great. It's fucking horrible, but it's great at the same time. So anyway, there you go. That's not growing on you at all, is it? I can see why people hate that artwork. I didn't write down the guy's name, but I can probably find it here. I found it. Newly commissioned artwork by Orlando. Oh fuck. No, that's not his name. Orlando Arocena. Orlando Arocena did that. Okay. That's great as sort of fan artwork. It is. But I can see why people don't like it at the same time, you know. But I think it works. It's all right. It's all right for me. And you can reverse the sleeve, so you've got the original artwork as well. So no worries there. Anyway, folks, let me know what you think about Eternal Living Dead. Original movie, classic. Its sequels, batting average. Third part's great. Second part, oh naff. What came afterwards? I'm not even sure. I can't even remember what came afterwards. Was there another 2 that came afterwards? I'm sure there was another 2 which were really shit. And they're not barely connected at all, so don't worry about them at all. But the original is a classic. It's pop punk, psychobilly, brain eating, comic book, nihilism. Loosely based on George Romero's stuff. And a neat little riff on it, but it works in its own right. And as I said before, you watch Eternal Living Dead with Life Force together in a great big, special effects, smorgasbord. It'll blow you away. It's a great double bill. I know because I've done it, and it's outstanding. I might do a commentary for this, Not tonight. I won't do it tonight. But maybe I'll do a commentary for Eternal Living Dead because it's worthy of it. I did a commentary for Zombie Flesh Eaters. Did I not? But it's up there in the greats of zombie movies. It's not scary. You can't. None of you are scared by this movie. It's fun. It's creepy. It's got a few jolts to it, but it's just great big fun. It's a great Halloween movie as well. Of course, we are October. I said before, didn't I? The 18th. So we're fast approaching Halloween, and it's a perfect movie for that. Perfect. It's got just the right amount of guts and gore and creepiness. Again, like Evil Dead 2, it fits that sort of bill. That sort of mid-80s milieu of things where massively splattery effects, but not that disturbing at the same time. Great creepy, great horror movies is what I'm trying to say. And so that's a great triple bill. Evil Dead 2, Eternal Living Dead, and Life Force. Fucking hell, and that is perfect. Is that not perfect? And then throw in Fright Night as well. Why not? Make a day of it, Fright Night. And Mutants. Put in Mutant as well. Do you know Mutants? Oh dear God. Right folks, please comment below, let me know what you think about the state of Eternal Living Dead. And if anyone's got any more information about either Trash's Revenge or Eternal Living Dead, on their site they still call it 2025. Bollocks. That won't come out in 2025. It's going to come out. IMDb now lists it as November 2026. Where they've got that info from, I don't know, but I don't think you're going to see Eternal Living Dead this year. I really don't. I think it's going to be put back. And obviously, you're not going to, if it gets put back from like December, a Christmas horror movie, You're not going to show it at the start of the year. You're not going to show it at Easter time. You're not going to show it, summer. So it's going to have to wait again, isn't it, till the end of next year? Because it's a Christmas movie. Ish. Like Blood on Snow. Those German zombie soldier movies. Oh, what are they called? Outpost? Is Outpost? Dead Snow. Oh, Dead Snow movies. They're great as well. I do enjoy those. And the thing about stuck in snow and blizzards, it gives you immediately feel you're in that environment. You do stuff set in like a suburban street where we all live in those. So that works. Like it's a Halloween. We know that. But of course, I live in a massive mansion house. So I've got all the creepy old gothic horror movies of yore. So I feel those. But suburbia, I'm like, these scumbags, living in the gutters. You're joking, aren't you? I can't associate with those. I feel no affiliation. But snow, we all know snow. We've all been to snowy environment. Well, I certainly have. We've all had snow. So to be stuck in a blizzard environment where you can't go outside, you can be slipping, sliding everywhere, and it's thick. And then you've got zombies as well, like besieging you. I think that's a winner. I really do. You can tell my money's on Return of the Living Dead. 2025, 2026, whatever. Trash's Revenge. I don't know. It just sounds like it is just the substance. It's just an aging starlet or scream queen that wants her name to shine again, and because she's got these canisters, it's just an excuse. I don't really understand the whole modus operandi behind that one, but I don't think it's been done before. Kilt-Man, zombie movies have been done a million times over. Yeah, quite right. So there's room for both. I wish them both good luck. Cheers, you all. Right. I have been much of a Kilt-Man, so please in the meantime, let's ever try and digest what you want from this. But basically, that may well have sold out in the UK. May well. But it will come out in a standard version, which will not have the artwork, the poster and the book. But yeah, everything else will be there. So, it's up to you guys. Oh, in between time. So, please keep it Celtic, keep it Celtic. I'm going to see you all. Wormy-eyed. Laters. And yes, my arse bones are fucking sore. I went straight down on me spinal bits and bobs. And luckily I've got a big fat arse to cushion the blow, but my arse has been flattened. There's a big dent in the floor now and a big fucking egg on the back of my head.